Hello, my name is Anand Abraham and I'm pastoring a church in Delhi NCR region. And I'm very glad to be part of this Stay Strong series. This morning I have a small thought to share with you. One of my friends, while returning from work one evening, was suddenly called back to a car manufacturing plant where electronic component had a problem and production line was stopped. And he had to rush back and he could return home only the very next evening. And while we were talking to his wife, she told us that when he came home, he looked fully exhausted. She couldn't even recognize his face because he looked dark, tired, exhausted. I thought about it. It's just the physical exhaustion, but every human being goes through another exhaustion in our existence here, and that is the mental, the psychological, the emotional exhaustion that we all go through. And that's because we are not existing in a place where our souls are at perfect rest, because we were not meant to be existing in this imperfect physical bodies or in this imperfect world. It's hostile, it has problems, it has sickness, it has death, it has hurting, and in midst of all that, we will have all kinds of exhaustion. Even if we create a beautiful world around us, we will still be facing all these problems, the hostilities that are around us, the hatred that is around us, and that will have a toll on our souls, and we are never at perfect rest. A bird is never at home, even in the most beautiful cage. A fish is never at home, even in the most beautiful aquarium. A wild animal is never at home, even in a very good enclosure. And we were not meant to be existing in a world that is around us. It was not meant to be this way, but let's face it, that's the reality. We have a world of this nature around us with all its problems in it. And our souls groan for the kind of place we were created for. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 2, Paul says something like this: "Meanwhile we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling." And he is referring to our physical bodies, in which we are never at home. We are always restless. We are never at perfect peace and rest in this body or in this world. But God has made provisions for us humans, because we were created in His image, that we can be at a place where we will have that rest. And that place was recognized by King David, who was a shepherd while he was a teenager. And he says in Psalm 23, a psalm that he wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack anything." And if you look at the following two verses in that psalm, he is referring to rest. In verse 2 he says, "He makes me lie down in green pastures." And he's not talking about he provides me green pastures. He's talking about making me lie down in green pastures. And then following that he says, "He leads me beside quiet waters." He's not saying he gives me sweet water to drink. Instead, he's saying he leads me beside still waters. You see, there is a sense of rest and calm and peace that he gets while the shepherd is around. And probably from his own experience as a shepherd, he is able to understand what it meant for his sheep when he was around. He could see that when he was around, they were at peace, they grazed, they lay down without any fear or anxiety of any wild animals, and they were at rest. And he has experienced that rest, knowing that God is around him, beside him as his shepherd. And he also says in the following verse that he restores my soul. He refreshes my soul. Now, unless we come to that point where we are able to see God as our shepherd, the toil that the world throws on us, the problems the world throws on us, the pain, the hurting, the hostilities, the hunger and death and sickness, all that is going to affect our souls. And we will never be at perfect rest and peace while we exist. And God doesn't want it that way. And He wants us to recognize that in Him as a shepherd, we, in spite of all these around us, we will find rest for our souls. And we will be at peace, at rest, even while we exist here. In an imperfect world and in imperfect bodies, we will find the rest God wants for our souls. As long as we are here, we can always look to Him as our shepherd who will be there to guide us and lead us. Saint Augustine of Hippo had said something like this: our souls are never at rest until we find a place in Thee. And until we find Him as our shepherd, we will never be at perfect rest. May God bless you.